At 23 years of age, I failed my first business. I lost about 4,000 American dollars in total. That's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, but considering that I was earning about 1,000 American dollars every month as a fresh graduate, and I'd only been working for about 6 months, that was really all I had. And today, I want to share with you 3 main lessons I learned as someone who failed my first business. I also want to share with you how I made use of these lessons to run the business I currently am running. Hi everyone, my name is Kian. I run a company focusing on corporate training, business consulting, and employee engagement. We have worked with more than 25 companies now, more of 10 of which are multinational companies. And we have worked with more than 2,500 employees from 15 different countries, including Canada, Australia, Germany, Taiwan, China, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Malaysia, amongst others. Now, the first lesson as far as running a business is to pitch before you feel ready. The first company that I was trying to run was an ed tech company, educational technological company. We wanted to come up with a software that helped to improve people's communication skills. So how it looked was really sleek. It was an interface with a play button. All the user had to do was to press the play button. They would speak into the device as you would record a WhatsApp voice message, for example, and almost immediately a 250-word feedback would be generated commenting on the user's use of vocabulary, pitch, voice, structure, and so forth. And it was really working very well. I had a COO with me, I had a CDO, Chief Design Officer, who has a strong background in software development, but I still didn't feel ready. I had done a community startup launch where I showed the software to a lot of my loved ones and family, and all of them were impressed, to say the least. They were really surprised that we were able to come up with something as impressive as that. But I just didn't feel ready. I felt that the product was not perfect yet. I felt that the minimum viable product, the MVP, was just not ready. But in retrospect, it was more than ready because it was working functionally very well. We had a software that worked about 7 out of 10 times, and in the 7 times that it did work, the quality of feedback was extremely high. But I was scared of rejection, and that's what a founder should not be scared of, because rejection should be the baseline, it should be the norm. So I did not end up pitching to anybody, and tragically we had to close down. I lost a bunch of money before I even sold or tried selling my first ever damn deal. How I took that and kept that in mind and made sure that I did not make the same mistake as I started my next company was that I pitched before I had any clients at all. I remember stepping into one of the largest medical equipment companies in the world with 0 client on my brochure. I was pitching a corporate training service. I was pitching programs that I had not even finished designing with my team, but I was pitching anyway because I wanted something very important, in fact the most important, which is the client's feedback. I'd rather pitch something that's about 50% ready so that I can get the client's feedback, because the client's feedback really is the most important. You can try and make things perfect, it's not going to be anyway, but at the end of the day, without the client's feedback, all the feedback that you have is almost close to useless because the clients are the ones paying. Your idea of perfect and their idea of perfect is different. So what you want to do is to pitch before you're ready. Not only are you able to do some marketing for yourself as a salesperson, you are also able to gather feedback from your clients, and you can then integrate them to continue iterating your product or your service. That's the first lesson. You want to pitch before you're ready. The second lesson I learned is to market as if it is your full-time job. If you're a founder, a business owner, or even a self-employed person, I think that you should treat marketing as your full-time job. You need to be marketing every single day, more than once every single day across different platforms. Of course, pick your options as far as where you think your target audience is. I think that Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok are pretty good choices. And you want to make sure that you do that really consistently. I'm talking every day, twice, thrice, more than 5 times every day if you're able to manage it, because nobody knows you when you're starting out. It's not so much that people are not coming to you because your product is not good. It's just that people don't even know who you are. And when people don't know who you are, not only are they unable to reach you, you are also not able to establish credibility for yourself, because someone who is famous is de facto more credible and has more fame, popularity, authority than the person that nobody knows. So you want to make sure that you market every single day. And that's something that I feel I did not do right. But an extension to marketing every day is that you want to feel that you want to keep in mind that it will not garner results immediately. So when I say full-time job, I mean that you should expect that it's something that you'll have to do for a long time to come. because you're not going to become famous all of a sudden unless you're extraordinarily lucky or you have something groundbreaking. For the most part, like us, we need to be marketing every day, posting every day, working on it as if it is your full-time job. So, market every day. The third lesson that I learned as far as running a business and failing one is to commit to something. Many times when you're running a business, you may begin to feel aimless and you lose sight of the direction that you're heading to because you may encounter some setbacks which inform you that, hey, perhaps your initial unique selling point that you want to brand and market, for example, or be known for is actually not very viable. And you may then feel uncertain about what you should do. But I think that once you have picked something, like marketing, for example, or building yourself, you should commit to it. And you must not stop working. You may have uncertainties, but you must be working, even if it means brainstorming, writing a bunch of ideas on an Excel sheet, writing on paper. You must make sure that as a human being, you're working, you're building stuff, you're doing stuff. I mean, that's what the definition of an entrepreneur is. An entrepreneur, the origin of the word entrepreneur is someone who does stuff, who builds stuff. So you must not spend a single day not doing anything at all. And that something on a rest day, for example, could be just thinking about the business, which is what you should be doing if you are a business owner anyway. At least as a new business owner, from my experience, for the ones who have already made it big and who are able to chill every day, I don't know, I haven't reached there. But you need to make sure you're doing things because it's only by doing things that you gain clarity. Because as you do things, you learn things. You learn about your strengths, your weaknesses. You learn about the market, your competitors, your customers, and so forth. If you're doing nothing, then you are not learning. And when you're not learning, you're not progressing, which is not good. At the end of the day, the 3 lessons are to pitch before you're ready, to market as if it's your full-time job and to do it consistently for a long period of time, and to commit to your tasks and be someone who does stuff literally every single day. Because at the end of the day, as a founder, as an entrepreneur, a business owner, a self-employed person, you need to be charging forward in spite of uncertainties and imperfections. They're going to exist anyway. So don't wait for things to become perfect or for when everything to fall into place such that you have no uncertainties at all. Because I believe that the more competent you become, the more uncertain you may be in more things, but you also become more certain about certain things. So, no pun intended. But anyway, I hope you learned something from the video. If you have, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, share your thoughts and ideas. I'll be sure to read them and respond to all of them. If you would like to find out how I made my first $100,000, please watch the videos that's going to be popped up. And until next time, I'll see you.